Hi, anybody home? I hope this is right. It's telling me I have to rotate. But I don't want to rotate to the pan. Shoot. Well, geez. Let's try it again. I think I'm doing it right, but God, why can't I get this thing? Hmm. I did it right before. Let's see here. Cancel. I'm gonna go off. Oh, hi. Somebody's here to visit me, though. So, does it look funny? Whoever you are that's hanging out with me tonight, right now? No? Yes? Does it look like... Okay. Yes, it looks funny. Okay. So I don't know how to fix it. Yeah, I'm sideways. Am I now sideways? Or am I not sideways? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see if I can make it work. I might have to go off and then start over again because this thing is... Now I'm good. Okay, well, let's see if I can make it. Schlitz. Sorry. I'm new. I had it all rigged up right for it to be. Let's see. La, 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 la. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. I'll get this at some point. Tonight, though, if I can make it happen, I have everything collected up to make homemade Florida water. Because I have purchased it, which we all have, right? And there's like 1,000,001 recipes for it on the old internets. And so I was like, well, I prefer as, oh, maybe that'll do it. Hey, that's not too bad. You just won't get to see entirely. I'll have to show that. Oh, okay, so here we are. So now we're sideways, sort of. You're balanced on a tahini thing and a spice jar. So I went ahead and I started looking up recipes and collecting up ingredients, different things, and I think, like, let's try it out. Let's see. It can't be any much more than, I think it's actually, no matter what happens, if it works for you and what your intention is, and you're putting that in and you're making it, then you're going to achieve the same results. I'll tell you this. The original Florida water I have, and today, because I knew I was going to want to do this, I decided that I would try it in one of the multitude of ways that it's suggested. Like, you can use it as a personal rinse, you can floor wash, you can clean your crystals, you can use it as an ancestor altar. So here's me after this, after the shower, and I decide, because I love the way it smells too. I think it's really a beautiful scent, and so I splash some on my hand, like aftershave, but not on my face. Thank you. And I just kind of went swipey, and stuff, and my skin got so inflamed that I thought, there's got to be something to this. Like, I'm sensitive to it. It didn't cause like a rash or do anything weird, but it did get inflamed, and you could see like actual marks. So, okay, fine. So that just like made me think even more that I should just try to make it. So the fun thing about making this stuff is that you start with vodka. Oh yes, our friend vodka. And that's how it gets started. So, but maybe I'll show you first the witchy stuff. It's real fast. So I popped by tonight, Michael's, because I'm working on some gifts for people and folks and stuff, and I wanted to just pick up a couple of little extra crystals and whatnot. And there is, and I had some coupons. I like some coupons. Hi, Keith. How are you? Nice to see you. Or chat or whatever. So they have this box, and I don't really want to tip it because the lid's not on. So $14 and 60% off coupon or something. $6. Whole thing of Quartz points. And we're going to use one of those tonight too. So, and we're going to put one in our jar for making our Florida water. So I got those. And then also, candle selection at thrifting lately has been not the best, but Pure One was right there next to I don't know where I was, Ross Dress for Less, somewhere. But Pier 1's had a big sale. So they have these candles right now, and they go on special tomorrow. But they gave me the deal tonight. So for $7.95, minus whatever percentage it was $5 for these candles right here. And they are infused with stone energies. So this one's like ruby, and this one is amethyst, and this one is sapphire, and this one is emerald, and then there's also topaz, which I somehow didn't get, but I'll go get it tomorrow. So for $5, you get these beautiful glass jars that are also on clearance right now. Pier 1, if that's close to you. So you get those cool jars that are great, that have stone energy infused into them. However Pier 1 does it, who knows, but we believe, and so therefore it's fine. So that's all in there. So there's my short, quick little witchy haul. Oh no, wrong. And then there's this. Jacobson Salt Company is located in Portland, Oregon, and that's where I'm from. And I'm in Florida now. And tomorrow for New Year's Eve at the restaurant, I have to do a salt crusted salmon. And I remembered at the TJ Maxx that there were 4 big boxes of this kosher Jacobson Salt Company sea salt. So picked up that. Anyway, all right, now back to Florida water. That's it. That's all the haul. So what we're gonna do, in order to do this, is we're gonna turn on our the fire, and we're just gonna get this up here to a simmer. I kind of combined things, like the recipes that I found. I combined them into what I like, and one of the ones that I thought was really cool said, include like 2 parts from each of these groups. And then I went and I added other bits to it as well, so that the groups got kind of bigger. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a mason jar full of vodka. Cheap vodka. Cheapy, whatever you want, vodka. And you're going to pour that in your pot. And this vodka I borrowed from the bar next door to mine. And it's kosher and gluten-free and all that good stuff. And then from there, what we're going to do is we are going to add dry ingredients to that and simmer for 5 minutes. And then there's fresh ingredients. And for dry ingredients, right now, I have in here a cinnamon stick into the vodka. We have a couple of allspice berries into the vodka. And a few cloves, which I think the original one to me has a lot of clove in it, right? And then another recipe included copal, and I love copal. So I happen to have from one of my subscription boxes sent along these little tins. This one, there's some copal resin. So we're going to put that into our vodka. And then we are also going to add some rose petals. Yummy. And these rose petals I harvested myself. And they say, I mean, if you can, this time of year, like, you should use as many fresh ingredients as you possibly can, but we don't have that option sometimes in the winter, and we have to make do with what we have. So those are dried rose petals from a bouquet I got a while back, and then I'm going to augment some of this with essential oil and dried spice, and then in the end we're going to simmer it for a while, and then strain it through some cheesecloth into another jar with a quartz point. So there you go. Anyway, so what happens is that you simmer this little concoction on the stove. So far, those are our dry ingredients. And if you don't know what dry ingredients are when you're making stuff, dry ingredients are things that are not liquid. And generally, it takes longer for them to get the essential oils and the stuff out of them when you are starting. So what you want to do is you want to give them a good... I should stir this up. I should help it. We should help it along. But you are also going to want to sit here with me for 40 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and we're going to pretend, and I'm going to give you the whole thing. And currently what we're doing is, though, for the 5, we're going to simmer the dry ingredients. What's in there, kids? Rose petals, cinnamon stick, clove, allspice, and copal resin. And we're gonna bring that to a simmer. And that baby is on, like, if you're electric stove, it's on 3. If you are on a gas stove, it's like medium low. And you're gonna bring that to a simmer. And simmer is when there's some movement going on, but it's not bubbling. And then what you're gonna start to smell is the alcohol, because we're gonna burn off the majority of the alcohol. But we're creating, basically making moonshine. Hi, Tamara. We're making some Florida water here, but what we're doing also is we're using our wooden spoon, and we are setting always our intention in. So I like to draw in the mix. I make pentacle in there 3 times. Perfect love and perfect trust. And I give it a couple of good stirs because I want my intention in, so I'm going clockwise. I want to make sure that what I'm setting in to this Florida water, because we're going to use this. This Florida water is going to be useful in our practice and on us, and it's something that we're making. We're not buying it off the shelf, and so we are putting our own and setting our intention to this Florida water for its uses to help us in our everyday magic for all of the kinds of things you can do, such as what all can we do? We can put this in the laundry. We can make a floor wash. We can use it for a ritual bath. We can put it as an ancestor offering on our altar, a personal cleanse. We can rinse our divination tools in this stuff. We can wash our 7-day candles in it, and it does have a money drawing power. There are a multitude of ways that we can use this. And I just think that it's better. After my little reaction with the actual Florida water today, I think that I'd rather make sure I know what's going in it, which... Oh, we're starting to get some activity, so I'm going to drop my heat down a little bit. And then I'm going to start to add my fresh ingredients, which it took me 15 minutes to do this because I just went outside and harvested some things to put in here. So we have now out of our harvest, we're going to add some mint and some rosemary and some fresh basil. And again, I've talked about this before, is that you can use the stems and sticks in this stuff. The essence is still there. You don't just necessarily have to have the leaves and petals. We can use stems and sticks when we're making this because it's all in there. Basil in. So I'm going to drop a fair amount in of all of these things. There goes some basil into the whole deal. And we're going to let this, again, because these are natural ingredients, so I totally want these to infuse in as much as possible, these natural things. Rosemary. I just missed what you said. You're going to have to watch it later probably because I'm too late for you, I imagine. That's the deal. But thanks. Because I don't have the chat up. I'm only seeing it real fast. I'm sorry. I don't have my laptop going tonight. But, shoot darn phone, I need to make notes. Oh, it's okay. You can make notes, but it'll be on, so you can always just watch it again. We're not gonna stay here forever and ever, but I will. Maybe I'll just write it down for you and put it in a chat or something discussion. Anyway, so in goes some rosemary. It smells so good already. We've already got in some cinnamon, our clove, our allspice, our copal resin, which is now melting into the whole bit. What else did I put in there? There is some basil, some rosemary, and then we are going to put in these mint bits. And again, we're using this. They don't have to be the most beautiful. I actually, sometimes the less beautiful girls are the ones that have the most action. So there's some mint, basil, rosemary. Ooh, drop that heat down again. We don't want to boil it down too far. Mint, basil, rosemary. What else we got going? Now, that is that. We are getting there. We're cooking with electric. And it's going to start to, we want to make sure we don't boil it because we'll just boil this down to nothing, and we want to make sure we have this Florida water. And it's going to look like dark and dirty, you know, like it's already this really beautiful woody, earthy color, and it already smells pretty damn good. I'm pretty impressed with myself. I've never done this before. So anyway, here's some orange peel. Orange. And I love orange. orange peels going in. So since I love orange a lot as a smell, I'm going to put extra in. And here's some lime peel into the mix. And a little more lime. And a little dash of lemon. Got to get our citrus notes in. Beautiful. We're going to give that another little stir. Excellent, excellent. Oh my gosh, you should see this. Maybe I'll make it so you can. Without screwing up my whole setup. So this is what's happening in the pot. Can you see in the pot? That's what's going on in the pot right now. And we're still gonna add some essential oil in there. And mostly, even like with the clove and stuff that I have in there live, where I'm going to put a couple of dashes of the essential oil in it too. And I want to talk for a second about essential oil. Whenever I go to like Michael's or TJ Maxx or any of those, they always have like over there in the diffuser section and kind of also in the makeup section, they have essential oils over there. And you can look at them and you start to you can read them and be like, this is bergamot. This is 100% pure essential oil, and you can read it and go, check me out. This is not in a carrier oil. This is 100% bergamot, and which I think I probably paid $3 for. And so do keep your eyes out on that. So we're going to put a couple of dashes of bergamot juice in there. Yep. And because another big one, and I just bought this today, and I spent some money on this guy. This is ylang ylang. And this is 100% pure essential oil, and it can be rather expensive, and so it was sort of my Merry Christmas to me, although actually my dad gave me some Christmas money, so thanks, Dad. You bought me ylang ylang. So we're going to put a couple little hits of that in there. Love it. And one of the big flavors of Florida water is jasmine. Now, this jasmine is a fragrance oil. Jasmine is pretty spendy, sadly, but I think for our uses it's gonna be fine, because we're not like, what's in this, what's happening. It is in a jasmine. It's a synthetic, unfortunately, but I did put it in something else earlier today and it was fine, but we're just gonna put a little toot, toot, because what we want to do is we want to infuse this, and we want to infuse us, and we want to infuse our magic into the water, and what our uses for it are going to be. So this smells awesome in here. Oh my God, I'm so happy I made this. And maybe a couple little dots of lavender. Yep. Got that going on for us. And then I already have live clove in there, but I do know that there is a huge amount of actual clove smell. To me, I pick it up a lot in the real Florida water. Well, this is real Florida water, but you know what I mean. So, but open. And this is Orcacia, and this is 100% clove. A couple little drops of that dude in there. So, with that, that's kind of like all the things that go into it. That's probably more things that go into it. And we have just created Florida water tea. And just keep your smelly on there. Like if there's something in that Florida water bottle that you really like a lot, like that you can pick out to you that makes it smell more, then do that. Then add more of that. Because you also, if you're going to use this, then you are definitely going to want to make sure that you have all of the things in there that you want to have in, right? And, a little extra won't hurt you. Okay, so what you really now are supposed to do in order to get all of these essences to like jive together is you should keep this going for another 20 to 30 minutes, just stirring the pot and willing your way into it. It's so good. Hi, Jack. We were learning a little bit about Florida water, and I have a bunch of stuff in there already, and orange peel and lemon and lime and fresh rosemary and fresh basil and allspice and cinnamon and clove and all the things. So, and it's in vodka, straight up vodka. And we are just going to kind of let that make like a little tea. There's not a ton of it, but, and I guess I could have put more vodka in there, but I don't want to mess with it now. So what's happening is that's going to sit there and for like another 20 minutes. And then what you're going to do is this. You're going to get your French cheesecloth here. Now, does everybody have cheesecloth at home? I hope you do. This needs to be with you in your witchy pantry at all times, cheesecloth. You're going to get your French cheesecloth. And you're going to take your mason jar. And you're going to pick out your quartz point that speaks to you the most that needs to go in here. Oh, I like this little guy. This one has like this dude that we just... He's got kind of like a little heart shape, so he's going in there. All right, and then you're going to take your cheesecloth. And it comes on a roll like this. And you're going to take your scissor, and you're going to cut yourself a piece of cheesecloth to go around the mouth of the mason jar. Ta-da! And then what you want to do is you don't want this cheesecloth to be like tight over the thing, or else it's all going to fall out. So you're going to take it easily and put it down around the mouth of the jar, right? And then you're going to get yourself a rubber band that you probably have a whole stack of if you eat like asparagus or broccoli. Take a rubber band, and after you've kind of poked this cheesecloth down into the jar, so you're making a little dish, sort of, or like an opening or whatever, someplace to catch this. There you go. Nope, that's not how you do it. Come on now, work with me. It wants to be difficult tonight. We do this all the time. So we do that. What is going on? It must be this rubber band. Let's get a new one. Work with me, tools. All right, again, poking your fingers down in there. You're going to put this rubber band around the edge, and so that you have created a little cheesecloth sort of valley. See? Like that. And so after you let this simmer and you've stirred your intentions all up in there, and you have all of your ingredients, and people keep joining in, so we'll just run through again. Dried rose petals, we have allspice and clove and cinnamon stick, and fresh peeled orange zest and lemon zest and lime, rosemary, mint, basil. We have copal resin in there, and we're stewing it up in vodka. And what else did I put in there? I put some drops of clove oil, a couple of those, a little bit of lavender, and keep your nose on this. A little bit of ylang ylang, a little bit of jasmine, orange oil, which I love, 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 bergamot. Maybe we need a little more bergamot. Yes, I think so. Doot, doot. A little more bergamot can't hurt. And what's this one? Did I put any lemon in there? Anybody remember? Yay, vodka. I know, right? Vodka is actually, and the cheaper the better, because you don't have to buy expensive vodka for this. It's a carrier. And when it says on anything that you, like if you read that Florida water, the back of that bottle, I should go get it and we can read it together. Let's do that. Hold on. Everybody take a little sippy. Okay, so here's your Florida water, the main one. Alcohol, denatured water, fragrances, FD&C blue color number 1, FD&C yellow color number 5. Caution, flammable. Well, so is vodka. alcohol. That's what's in there. It's basically like you are utilizing the boiled out version of the same thing as making this. Only our tea is not this pretty blue color. Our tea is like red, rose red, and mud. But that's cool. I like it because that means I made it, and it's got my essence and my magic in there and all that. So I am gonna add a little water, because I don't want this to boil completely to nothing. And for those of you guys that are just kind of joining in, we did use 1 mason jar full of vodka. So we'll just add some water, half mason jar full, and we're just gonna kind of let this go for a minute. We could have a little chat, but I don't know. So yeah, and we're stirring pentacles into there, and letting that steep for another 10-15 minutes. And then what you're gonna do is, and I want to keep this, so I don't want to jump the gun. But I did show a little bit ago what it looks like in there. This reminds me of like making, when I was a kid, making like mud pies or mud tacos. I've got a whole bunch of like nature brewing in water and vodka, and it looks this beautiful sort of tea mud color. So in about 10 more minutes, I would say, you will turn this off. And right now we're simmering on low. I did add a little more water, so I kicked the heat up a little bit so that it can get to temperature. And you don't want it to boil, because you'll just break down everything, and you don't want that. So, and everything's looking good. And just let it go, and then what you're going to do is pour it into your mason jar that is secured with a rubber band, and you have your little vessel, and you have your little quartz in there, and you're going to strain it out. And then once you're pouring it through there, because the cheesecloth is going to catch all that live matter, and you're going to keep, then there you go. That's going to be your Florida water. Is going to be right in there, and you can use it for, like I said, a floor wash, ritual bath rinse, you can put it in your laundry, protection spray, crystal cleanser, divination tool rinse. And again, it's important. I'm just going to reiterate this. I'm starting to sound like ooh, it smells so good. I think I love it. I think I love it. Mine's a little more earthy. This is a little more citrus, I think. But they're close. They're real close. The one thing I don't have that I probably would add is, and I need to get, is rose essential oil. I think that would probably, I do have rose petals in there, but I do think that a rose essential oil addition would kind of, if you're really in love with that flavor of the original Florida water, then, and you're trying to match it. But again, this is like, all you got to do is get your intention in there and get this like muck all simmering and making tea. And baby, I think that we're on to something. I like this recipe. That's what's important, is making sure that your divine magic and your essence is in there, and that you are putting it all in together, right? So, all right. Well, I would say, does anybody have any questions? But I can't really read them. I'll get this live thing eventually all cooked up, right? And get a chat up and going. But that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let this kind of steep for a little bit longer under the heat, and then strain it out, and let it. And I'm gonna put it on the altar, definitely, and have it rest there for a few days before I just dive right in and let it get used up for my purposes. But I also believe that I will not have the reaction I had on my skin, because there's, like, for me, ritual bath and stuff is very important too, and I think that it is. Thanks. Hi, Willow and Thrifty Witch. Hello, Miss Jen, Mama Squirrel. I think, and Tamara, I think that it's important that I don't want to have a skin reaction like to this that I had, and I think that it is important that we make our own magical tools as much as possible. And just because I spend so much time in the kitchen, that to me, that, oh, no worries, I've come on super late. You can just watch it later. I'm going to be done here shortly. Anyway, because this just needs to sit here for another 10 minutes and cook and do its thing and manifest, and then get strained out into the cheesecloth vessel, and then it's going to rest on the altar. And yeah, I know, right? Make your own. So, and I'm happy to do as much research and make our own videos as possible, because I spend so much time in this kitchen that it is just make your own. Oh, the ritual bath. I think that's what I was talking about. I just totally scrolled out a second. The ritual bath is important to me, and for Florida water uses are such that we are for personal cleanse and for ritual bath and stuff, that I think making your own and making sure that what you put in it suits you and is part of what you want it, what you need for you, and the intention is there. I'm not telling you do not buy this product. I own this product. I buy this product. I'm thinking maybe like this, for me, making my own is better for my uses personally. Like if it's going to directly touch me, or I'm not going to drink this. Although you could. There's nothing really that says all of those are 100% natural essential oils. I mean, I would do it in small doses if you're going to take it in, but God, don't take it in and then say, I told you to do so. Look it up first. Whatever you're going to use, please do. Don't have any reactions or weirdness. But sprinkled in your bath, but you could use this in replace of. I feel a really strong connection to this right now. Like it's this scent and the aromas that are coming off of this steam, just because I've infused it. This is pretty cool. Like I haven't made this before, and so I'm a believer. But I'm a believer in myself and what I can do and my powers and my magic, and so I think that it's all good for me. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody all for tuning in, and I will make a actual recipe list, and well, yes, you can bathe in a bunch for a short time. Although I think earlier I talked about the fact that I put this on my skin today and I had a reaction to it. Like it where I touched me, I had these giant red stripes. So whatever's in here I was either in super need of some major cleansing, or something in here and I didn't mesh right, which just made me even more so want to make this video. So I think like, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure what it was, but I literally could see my hand prints. I was like, oh, let's just, because I love the smell of it. So, but I will keep us up. I'll update us tomorrow and see how the homemade batch works. If it works, and I can tell you, it smells amazing. This is pretty badass. Anyway. So, there you have it. I will post something in there got me, and I don't know what it is, and so that just made me more, and I know I'm not allergic to vodka, and so we're cooking with vodka today, and so I'm gonna just rely on this, as part of my apothecary, and part of my arsenal of what I'm gonna use. That other stuff I think is fine for cleaning altered things and whatnot, because I have used it for that. But when it comes to like, after personal cleansing, it's not good for me. Anyway, so there you go, and we're getting close to the time that I could put this in there, strain it out for you. But I think you get it. So yeah, I'll type it up, what all I put in, and post it. And or you could just, if you watch back, it's there. It's all listed, and all the uses. But now I can tell you as a chef, cook chef person, we are getting to the point where The herbs that I did put in, let me see if I can fish one out and not kill myself. They're starting to turn, you know, when your mom made like green beans and they were this awful gray color. So we're starting to get there with the things that are in, and that's where we're getting to the point where we want to strain this out, because those things are turning that color. That color means we're going to start to have bitterness, and we don't want to turn this into a bitter pot. So it's actually, we might just do it live and in charge. I'll take some tongs and pull the most of this out, because it is actually starting to tell me it's done. It's telling me it's done. And the color's just awesome. So yeah, let's just do it, because I don't want that to turn into bitter. No, bitter's no good. So what we are going to make sure and do, I'm going to put another rubber band around this thing. Save all your broccoli and asparagus rubber bands, because they are your friends. For starters, so I'm going to put this, another rubber band, double her up. There we go. That was with me and didn't want to use rubber bands. That's good. Okay, perfect. So, paint's on. We're going to I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to get a pair of tongs, these guys, and I'm going to first just pull out the big stuff and put it aside. This again, it's like all spell workings, right? It's part of the spell. So what we want to do is pull this aside, because you're going to want to dispose of your spell remains in a way that is best suited for you. So you're going to pull out the big chunks and pull those aside. That, and they're going to drain off a little more. Anyway. And then, so all I'm kind of left with down there in the pot is just little bits and allspice balls that don't want to be caught. That's okay. I'll catch you. Alright, now you're going to make sure, there's your pot. La 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 la. And you're going to now carefully, which you're just going to have to trust me on this, because I can't turn the camera. You're going to carefully pour in your liquid into the top of your mason jar that you have secured with as many broccoli / asparagus rubber bands that you have saved through your cheesecloth. Now, if you're just joining in, remember I said cheesecloth is your friend. And if you don't know what cheesecloth is, it's this stuff, and it comes in this kind of a bag. And you can buy it at the grocery store. You just buy it at the grocery store. That's your friend. You want cheesecloth for forever. And then what you've done is you've created. You see, there's some matter in there, and it's now been strained out. And take that off. And this cheesecloth is all natural, so you know what you can do is you can put, it can be however you dispose of your spell remnants, all those herbs and stuff. If you bury it, you can bury that right along with. Now, you're going to leave the lid off of this until it's cool. You don't want to put the lid, cap it up on there. You're just going to let it be cool, room temperature. Look at my Florida water, mud. There's a whole lot of like goodness in there. It smells awesome. Anyway, so that's what you do, and then you're gonna take and cap once it's cool to room temperature. Then you take your mason jar bits and you tighten it up and label it however you want, and put this on your altar for a few days and until you feel like it's ready to go. I wanted to do this now because it is New Year, and what better time to create something to cleanse myself and my stuff with, and to start afresh than for New Year. So, you know, tomorrow, next day. So by the end of this next couple days, you know, you'll be able to use this, and then now you have my recipe. And feel free to use it as a basis, or like augment it, or do whatever you like. There you go. So I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me in the late night kitchen of Ella Bray, making groovy potions. Happy New Year, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I know, right? Smell-o-vision. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll think up something else to make next and hanging out in here. All right, bye, y'all. Thanks, Keith. Thanks. Bye, Tamara. Bye, Keith. Oh, thanks, Miss Jen. Love you too, Mama Squirrel. Hi, Michelle. Yes, thanks, and Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, I'm changing out my... I can't handle this Yule altar anymore. It's driving me crazy. I gotta change it out. I gotta be ready to rock with something. I know we're supposed to wait till the end, but I, for days now, have been wanting this to be done, to be changed. So I'm gonna... now that the Florida water is ready to go, I'm gonna work on changing out my altar next, I think. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and if you are part of the Yule gift exchange, tomorrow's your last day to send out your thing. Okay, bye. Now I'm done. Ciao.